We got freedom to gain, we feed them the game. Turn on New Freedom Exchange, we freeing your brain. They trying to shackle your mind, no half of us blind. Remember the past, but never go backwards in time. The ancestors lived through us, they help us build a model community. New Africa is soon to be. So tune in to Sister Marsha, Mujahideen, Imam Bilal, to get your cultural enlightenment now.
Welcome back to another edition of a special edition, a first Sunday edition of New Freedom Exchange, your cultural expression for social dignity and community empowerment. I'm your co-host Mujahideen, here with
Assalamu Alaikum, Sister Marsha.
Wa alaikum assalam, Imam Bilal Hassan here. Welcome everyone to another edition of New Freedom Exchange. This is grateful to be here on this beautiful Sunday. Inshallah, I hope everyone is well, is doing well across the country. And if you're tuned in on YouTube or Facebook, leave us a comment, let us know where you're tuned in from. We can shout you out. Even on this platform, we're like simulcasting to like several different platforms right now. So, wherever you're at, give salams, peace to the room, and let us know where you're tuned in from. But and like us, we're streaming on New Freedom Exchange, YouTube, Facebook, all the platforms, New Freedom Network, etc. So please, where you see it, share it, like it, subscribe, and yeah.
Excellent. So normally what we do our little, check-in. So we'll do a brief check-in, just keep it up with tradition. Then we'll get right into our special featured guest, Imam W, Mohammed II. We're going to have a nice little fireside chat with him on his platform, which is the first Sunday. We thank you for those who have been watching us. It's been first time aired on New Freedom Network. They gave us permission to simulcast, and we look forward to doing it in the future, sharing the first Sundays on our platform. We're in Islamic Heritage Month, as we mentioned early on. We did in our research actually find out that there's actually 4 designated months in America throughout the country. One is in January, one is in April, July, and in October. We were familiar with October, and so we're going to, throughout this month, we're playing a series of presentations that were given on Study Al-Islam. So you could tune in daily at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for those presentations, and we're also going to have some special cinema nights. We're going to share some movies and so forth and so on. So we look forward to that celebration Islamic heritage. There was a couple resolutions. Our religion is a universal religion, and we have taken it from where we've come from in this part of the world, and we're back connected with the global world. So we want to celebrate Islam and the Muslim American experience. How y'all feeling?
Feeling good. Everyone's good on this end. My children are well. That's, paramount for me. Had a nice weekend. Today was pretty chill, waiting for, this show, and I'm so excited that we get to do it. Yesterday, spent some time with the Unified Eid Committee of New Jersey with the Applebee's breakfast. We had a chance to have breakfast with one another and raise some funds for the Eid celebrations when they come up. So everyone's well, and I'm happy. How about you, Imam Bilal?
Yes, alhamdulillah. Weekend has been good. Saturday, we spent some time out with, hung out with the United Eid Committee out of Newark. Went to the Applebee's to support the committee as they raise funds for the upcoming Eids coming up. Never too early to raise funds, as we know. So we wanted to support the believers in Newark. And today we are supporting the Mosqueers. This was definitely a show program that's been long awaited, that we always were excited to do, and we're excited for this program. And we hope that you all, the listeners and the viewers, will get something out of it. And other than that, busy working. We got maintaining 2 jobs at this point, full-time, part-time, but it's all in good, and still doing other work. So never, can't stop. Work don't stop. The Prophet said, we want to take advantage of your health and your age while you have it. So inshallah, we'll keep doing that.
Excellent. So we can transition into, we'll bring our Imam on shortly. We just wanted to give a couple of preliminary statements from each of us, and then we'll bring the Imam on. We've been working with the convention. We were fortunate to be again on the planning committee with Sister Rashida, Sister Tawhida, Sister, I forget the other sister, Sister Marsha, Dr. Lynn, Sister Khalida, Dr. Khalida, and a few others. So we've been working with them over the summer. We had an excellent presentation. They gave us 2 days, and we were able to showcase our young adult, our youth, and our young adult. And we had a nice young adult roundtable. And we wanted to look, to reintroduce for those who may not be familiar, to introduce and to reintroduce to the community the work, the continuous work of our leader and teacher, Imam Muhammad, underneath the leadership of Imam Muhammad II. So we were happy that Imam Adil reached out to us and decided to allow us to come on, to do a double duty, to come on you all's platform to share the work that we're doing and to engage Mr. President. We always want to talk to the president, and so it's an honor to have this opportunity.
Absolutely. And I know for me, I'm excited to do this interview because I think sometimes as a community, we take for granted that as the generations progress and as our children grow up and they become adults or new people come into the community, we make the assumption that they know and understand all of the various organizations in our community. And sometimes there's a disconnect or there is sort of a gap in making sure that people know about the various organizations in our community and their significance and their impact. And so for me, I'm excited for it today because we get to present the Mosque Cares and Mr. President to the community so that they get a understanding, so that our young people specifically get an understanding of what the Mosque Cares is, its initiatives, and how we can support as young adults.
Yes, I'm looking forward to this particular show. As I mentioned before, it's, we have a lot of institutions in our community. The Muslim Journal, who we work with as well, and now we are establishing ourselves with the Mosque Cares and other entities as well, because these entities have long existed way before us, way before our time, and we want to make sure that they continue on. And sometimes we also, as a people, we tend to forget, or we tend to get a little sleepy, by the wheel, and we forget, some of the institutions that already have been existing and doing the work in the community, and sometimes people just don't know. And we just get bombarded with everyday life that we just don't pay attention to some of the things that's happening. So we definitely want to showcase Mr. President, and the work of the Mosque Cares, and hopefully answer any questions with this interview. Answer any questions that you all may have, the listeners and viewers, about the Mosque Cares and the work that they do and how to get involved.
Right. Yeah, I know. I'm one of those people that I described, right? I didn't grow up in this community. And so I'm excited to learn all of the things that we'll find out today. And without further ado, I'm going to kick it back to Mujahideen.
Okay, Brother Imam, we're here. We're ready to receive you. If you're able to come on and unmute, we welcome you to the Freedom Exchange Show, as well as you welcome us to the first Sunday, Deen Mohammed II. Assalamu Alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Man, what can I say? Imam Mujahideen, Imam Bilal, Sister Marsha, you're a new face, but you're not that new. I remember you at the convention. I remember you before the pandemic and all of that. But alhamdulillah, what can I say? My brother Mujahideen, Imam Mujahideen, you doing it. You was doing it back in I don't know when you first. I think when Imam Muhammad way back in 2008. He was a young man. But he was very ambitious, And so we used to see you on Facebook when Facebook wasn't even that popular. You and Kadar, you and Brother Ishmael. And I remember your pride, your pride and joy was that little map with your flag on it. So congratulations. What else can I say? You know, every healthy body has a good heart first, a good brain, and a good nervous system. The body won't stand without a good nervous system. And that's where I see y'all. I see y'all bringing this community together and giving us the healthy nervous system that you've reflected today on this show. And I'm greatly impressed. And I think the body's going to stand strong and remain healthy so long as you guys remain healthy and stay strong. I'm proud of you. I just had to put that out there. I couldn't hold that.
Appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Congratulations. One more time. Congratulations. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Oh, normally
y'all know I love y'all. Y'all know that. Y'all know that, right? Okay.
No doubt.
Just had to say that. Come on. I'm here. I'm ready.
Well, normally what we ask all of our guests is if in 30 seconds, can they describe themselves, who they are in 30 seconds?
Me?
Yes, Mr. President.
And nobody. Nothing and nobody. Me? This guy? Do I have to bring my kids down here to tell you who I am?
Listen, we can't let the kids tell it.
I might be an okay dad at times. I'm an okay father. People know me as the namesake of Imam W, Deen Mohammed. Loved by many, hated by many, appreciated by some, never enough. Now, I'm the grandson of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the builder. Now, I can go for an hour on that. I'm the son of Imam W, Deen Mohammed, the leader of the Muslims in America. And when I say Muslims, not just the African-American Muslims, the leader of all Muslims in America. And most Muslims, if they can speak enough English to tell you, they would agree. And other than that, I was born into a situation where it was extremely unique for African-American people. And a lot of people don't know the accomplishments of my family, starting with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You'd be surprised how many people I run into. They say that, well, the wealth and the prosperity of the Nation of Islam, that's because of Malcolm X. No, we were a poor, small, almost like a cult-like group until after the passing of Malcolm X. May God be pleased with him. It was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that built the Nation of Islam on his call, because he believed that he was obeying and following the leaders and teachings of Almighty God, Allah. And he also believed that he represented God as the man that he read about in the Holy Quran, the book that we believe. Now, I know a lot of youngsters that's watching and listening, I just blew their mind. Elijah Muhammad thought, what? We live in a different time. You guys walk around with supercomputers in your pocket, and you smarter than any ancestor that I ever had. All you have to do is just pull out your phone and type in the information, and there you are, you smart. So yeah, my biggest identity to the public, I would believe, will be in that line of that lineage of the association with the builders of what we know as the Nation of Islam, which was Honorable Elijah Muhammad himself, mostly his brain, his blood, his sweat, his tears, and his children, who were full participants from the moment they were born. Even they were talking to my father in the womb of his mother about his responsibility. And so, in a nutshell, I experienced a similar situation. And you don't believe me? I'm here. Ask me. Shoot.
Yes, sir. That's very honorable, and we thank you for giving us that brief trail of your history, your lineage. As we go forward in this discussion, we want to also focus on the responsibility that you have taken on underneath the banner of the Mosque Care. So can you just tell us briefly a little bit about what is the mission of the Mosque Cares?
Yeah, the mission of the Mosque Cares is we are a faith-based organization, and we follow the leadership as our book is the Holy Quran. So our sole I guess authority, our sole authority over us is the Word of God. And then next, as citizens of the United States of America and to serve the laws that we have dedicated ourselves to as citizens of the United States of America. And us being a ministry under the leadership, we're in the office of Muhammad the Prophet, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So he's our leader and we follow him, and it is our duty and we feel our responsibility to represent Islam in the best manner that we can due to our circumstances and our abilities. And so we acknowledge the leadership of Imam Deen Mohammed. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him selecting me as president in 2007. And what we try to do is to stick to things that he established over his more than 33 years as the official leader of the former Nation of Islam, which was the followers of his father. And he guided all of us to the point where we are here today. And that is what we feel we've accomplished. I could spend a lot of time talking about what we've accomplished, and it's been close to 15 years now. But we thank Allah with the help of God. If it wasn't for God's help, we wouldn't have been able to have any of the successes. So we believe and we feel that our personal successes are really truly the success of us as a whole, as a community. Because I identify myself first as just a servant, just a servant of this community and of humanity. And most of it is based and rooted in the solid foundation, the moral foundation that's given in the Holy Quran. We're social and creatures that God created for no other purpose other than to serve him. And that the way we serve him best is by serving each other, humanity at large, because God is without want and without need. So I hope I didn't stray too far. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. Did I answer the question? That too. I'm good at going and going, so forgive me. Yeah.
Excellent. So how does the Mosque Cares carry out its mission through the initiatives and programs that you all have?
Yeah, we our biggest program is the one we just had about a month ago, which we call it the annual Muslim Convention. And there's a significance to that. They say, well, why do you have so many conventions? You all are one ummah, one community. Well, because the human being, God created us all. He said so that we should not despise each other. He made us our differences so that we should get to know each other. So we celebrate our differences and we celebrate our identity. And under our leader, Imam W. Muhammad, he said that we should use the term, and following in his father's footsteps, that we are Muslim community. And Muslim just basically means it's the identity for the world to identify us and our faith. But it basically is just a description of God's creation, the human creation. And that Muslim, just like anything else, that God created us for no other purpose than but to serve him. So we have what's called a Muslim convention, and it looks very Islamic in its structure, but it's our hope that this is an opportunity for the outer world, our communities, our neighbors, our friends, our relatives that may not be Muslim, to come and share in what we feel is God's mercy and blessings that we've enjoyed throughout the entirety of the year. But now this is our moment to shine, our Muslim convention. So that's the biggest one. And then after that, we have, which is one that is more closer to our hearts, as reflecting our beginnings and our foundation as how we got here. I used to always tell this story because every now and then immigrant Muslims would come and they'll see something on my table that they didn't feel comfortable with it. I just put it that way. And Elijah Muhammad is my granddad. So if you got a problem with him, you got a problem with me. So you're looking at his picture. So I say, okay, brother, let's say you have a heart attack. You're in dire need of some medical attention, and someone gets you to the hospital and you get that life-saving attention that you needed. Do you curse the ride you just got there, though it was a raggedy, broke down bus with 2 wheels, blowing smoke and making all kind of noise and smelling bad? Do you curse that vehicle that brought you to the life-saving attention that you needed? Or do you say, alhamdulillah, thank you, Allah, and do you give honor to that vehicle that brought you there? So we honor our past, because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, his intentions were pure and they were good, because we know the God of all man and humanity, is a God of mercy and wisdom. And he accepts worship from anyone in sincerity. That is, our Quran is that teaches us that religion itself is sincerity. Because the prophet, it was Muhammad the prophet that said that. Muhammad the prophet, they asked, what is religion? He said, religion is sincerity. So we believe that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was sincere. So guess what? He got help from the real God, from the true God, the Lord and Master of all of us. That's what my personal belief is. So, and I think I won that argument with that gentleman. So we got saved this day.
I think you won too.
Yeah, because he left in peace. He wasn't angry. And see, I don't believe I won if a person doesn't look happy, because I feel good about it. I used to tell people that, and I got to stop myself. I used to tell people that used to sell tapes for me, not this brother. I didn't have to ever tell him nothing. I said, you have a problem selling the tapes? I said, do you listen to him? I said, I never sell a person something that I don't appreciate myself. I said, people start going in once they see my spirit and what I got from it, they want my spirit. I don't sell them the tape. They can't hear the tape. It's not playing. They can't see the tape. They can't eat it or taste it. It's plastic. So what I sell them is my spirit. And they already been in their pocket for the money because they want the spirit. Because most things we buy anyway is just a picture anyway. It's not the real deal. In the grocery store, I said, if I see real food, I might lose my appetite. I look at the pictures, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so those are the main two. And then we got Ramadan, our Ramadan session, which really is our number one. Imam Muhammad said the Ramadan session should be bigger for us than everything else. And inshallah, it will be. And when we're satisfied, when you're satisfied, we'll know, because the Ramadan will be the biggest. It'll be the most well attended, inshallah. So those mainly are our main three. And then we have a food giveaway. We have a meal giveaway really during the 4th of July, but the pandemic has shut that down last year. Well, year before last we had it. We try to do it when we can, and inshallah we'll do it more often, where we feed our community, our neighborhoods. No greater pleasure. I get to cook, you know, nobody gets sick, I'm happy. So alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
And we celebrate, on the national level, those are the main three, yeah. We try to do Memorial Day, you know, when we can, but we haven't done it in recent times. Yeah, so we invite people to that. And then number one, the first Sunday, we invite people out to the first Sunday, which is our community program, which you see here today, which is what I tried to express to our community. They said, well, what are you going to do? See, the Nation of Islam, different from what Islam, the structure of Islamic democracy or Shura Bainahum should reflect, as different as night and day. The Nation of Islam was more social reform and almost like a communist doctrine, almost like communism. If you look at the governmental structure, right? So, you know, the two are very, 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 very different. So, yeah, but I don't forget where I was going with that. It was a point I wanted to make. The first Sunday, our first Sunday program reflects that. Somebody asked me, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I don't know. Allah knows best. I said, but I see when the sun sets, the sun is our star and the sun shines beautifully. We hold it responsible for all of the life and the goodness and the pleasure and the joy. As a matter of fact, our physical bodies sleep when the sun is set. You know, our bodies, you know, don't even want to be too active when the sun set. So I said, well, this to me is like the sun is set. And if you think of it even deeper, he passed away from this physical life. And I said, really now he should shine brighter than he ever did, like a supernova, you know, like the nova collapses in on itself and the star, it gives off his last bright beam of light. And they said it stretches where it only had significance as a media environment, and it stretches across into the universe. So I'm looking at it this way. So what happens when the sun sets? You see all those other lights in the sky. And that's how I see you all, as lights that weren't being acknowledged during the day of Imam W. Deen Mohammed, but now is an opportunity for us to line up and take our turns and have a voice and be heard in the community of Imam W. Deen Mohammed, Mosque Cares, Ministry of Imam W. Mohammed. So it's an opportunity for you guys to shine. I took all that weight off my back and bam, there you go. You got it.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate that, Mr. President.
People forget Imam was not about person. That's un-Islamic. We're not supposed to have a king, a queen, or a dictator. That is not Islam. Muhammad the Prophet said, the best thing you can call me right now is brother. That's the best thing you can for me. And that's who we are. We're a family. We're one, a family. But we need leadership, and we need the body has many needs, and the best way to get it is to call the community forward. So the first Sunday is what we do on a regular, besides Jumu'ah every Friday and Talim and prayers. We don't have all the daily prayers, but we do have on the days we're there. You can make salat whenever anybody's there. It's open for the public. Anybody wants to stop by, you see us on the Google map or wherever, just, you know, stop in and we're there. You're welcome to make salat.
Thank you for that, for the outline of your programs and initiatives, and they're really robust, right? I know that you gave us some, and you sort of highlighted the big ones, and we appreciate that. But with having such a robust outline of programs, ones that you mentioned and ones that didn't get mentioned, do you partner with other either initiatives or institutions to carry out those programs and to carry out the mission of the Mosque Cares?
Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Thanks to Allah. Imam Muhammad, our founder, who started the Ministry of Imam W. Muhammad, he had many friends, many friends. And, you know, openly, my heart, you know, I apologize for those that we have not been able to reach out to, because what we didn't have and what we still don't have is a staff that Imam Muhammad had. We don't have a staff that can really handle all of our interests and our connections and keep up those relationships with friends. But there are major ones that after his passing that I did have the opportunity to attend programs and to join, and I was welcomed into the seat that he served on many of those organizations to serve in the same capacity that he did. And it was just mind-blowing, you know. And I think of myself as a youth, you know, being around these people of faith. You know, you don't know that there are people out here. We watch Marvel comics or DC comics or whatever, and we see all these superheroes, and those superheroes, those people with those superpowers, with those super abilities, those are human souls that exist. I witnessed it. There's some really, really good people and have power to make a difference and make a change. We should never feel desperate and feel that why did Allah put me in this world of corruption, of evil, of famine, and of sickness and disease and discrimination? Why am I here with a good heart? Why can't I be you know, thoughtless and not care about my brother, care about the plight of the people and the poor people in the world? Why can't I be like that? A lot of us experience that. I experienced it most of my child life. I'm like, the world is sick. You know, why am I here? You know, I'm gonna get eaten alive. I'm a kid. I'm innocent. And that's how a lot of people feel. But there are good people out there, and they're making a difference. They're doing what they have to do in a quiet way. And that's why I don't feel bad about the plight of my father, Imam W. Muhammad, the way I saw him. When a person accepts their identity, You don't let the world dictate to you who you are and what you're going to be. You dictate to the world what you know is right and what you know Allah wants of you and what will accept of you. Imam Muhammad, he could have kept, I think the FOI had the baddest military suit I ever seen in my life. You know, God forgive me, you know, we had the Navy, the Army, we had all of the U.S. Branches of the military. You got other governments around the world. Ours, man, we were sharp, man. And when I look up on the internet and I see those images, I said, why didn't Imam? I said, because now I Google him, and this is where y'all come in. I Google Imam Muhammad, you can't find him. I'm like, people think I'm crazy. When I came home from living in the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's in the palace, I told them about my uncle, 4 palaces, 1 big mansion, and 4 palaces look just like it across the street. We don't shovel our snow in the wintertime because the ground is heated. Don't shovel the driveway because the ground is heated. You got a fountain in the front that shoots up maybe about 30 feet in the air, and you got to walk across a Japanese pagoda just to get to the front door. Underground 7-car garage, beautiful mansion, connected secret passageway underground, because we don't own it no more. I don't even think Farrakhan let it no more. I can tell you about the secret passage where you can walk from the big house across the street to the little mansions, which weren't little at all. And I'm like, I grew up like this. And then I came home and tell my friends in the neighborhood, they're like, yeah, Wallace, here come Wallace. They got tigers and giraffes in their backyard. I said, I ain't say nothing about no giraffes, but my uncle Jabber, you could drive, if you were driving up 47th and Woodline, you could hear his tigers roar in his yard. And it would, if you wasn't ready for it, it would freak you out a little bit. Like, is there a tiger loose? Yeah, there was tigers in my uncle had tigers. And yeah, we owned a jet. I rode in the cockpit, a jet airplane, a jet in the 70s, yeah. And so this is one reason why I mentioned at the beginning, I'm loved by some, but hated by others. But the people that hate me, they hate me because of what they believe the possibilities. In the minds of a lot of Black people, in the minds of a lot of Americans, ain't no end supposed to have that kind of power or wealth. They not. They not. So they don't accept it. They did it. I'm gonna let you rest at ease. I've never had that kind of power or wealth. I remember it because I got a good memory. I was old enough to remember some of it, but no, my father was wise enough to know that he didn't want rich kids. He wanted Muslims. And a rich kid in America today, you got to pray for him. We barely made it through the 80s, a lot of America. And America today is trying to figure out how to save the young people, you know, how to save their own families. And yeah, so, but people should know about these things. You should be able to Google and see the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the man that had a 3rd grade education, that went to a butcher and studied the chart so well that he had some of the best cuts of beef in his deli, where his daughters helped cut up and cook the meat, and it grew into a bakery, it grew into a restaurant, it grew into grocery stores and markets, it grew into a massive farm, which you can Google some of these things, and some of it you can find, but it's slipping away. It's slipping away. So we need to preserve our history and set the record straight. And I commend you all for doing what you're doing. Yes.
Excellent, excellent. We're at the halfway point. We're going to play a little brief break, and we'll be right back after this, once we pull that up, this brief commercial.
Legacy, legacy, brothers and sisters, let's celebrate. Legacy, legacy, Muslim journal, 60 years today. Legacy, legacy, our history, our perspective, our way. Legacy, legacy, Islam is our path, success away. Legacy, legacy, visit muslimjournal.net online. Legacy, legacy, text sponsor the 999. Legacy, legacy, 999, legacy, legacy, muslimjournal.net online. Legacy, legacy, brothers and sisters, let's celebrate. Legacy, legacy, Muslim journal, 60 years today. Legacy, legacy, our history, our perspective, our way. Legacy, legacy, Islam is our path, success away. Legacy, legacy, visit muslimjournal.net online. Legacy, legacy, text sponsor the 999. Legacy, legacy, 999, legacy, legacy, muslimjournal.net online.
Okay, and we're back. You've been listening to New Freedom Exchange, your social, your cultural expression for social dignity.
What happened to you, man?
Which is
No, it
actually
slipped up a little bit. Slipped up a little bit.
A little rusty.
put so much heat on the mic, man. Almost broke my laptop. Man. My laptop I had to reset my laptop and everything, so we had to reboot. But we're thankful for you all who've been listening, tuning in. We're trying to get back live on our side on YouTube, but you can still look us on YouTube on the Mosque First Sunday page. They're still live, rocking and rolling. As we transition, as we close, going into the second part, we want to talk a little bit more about your community engagement with the ministry, as well as with your leadership with the public, the general public, the non-Muslim public, and our neighbors in the community. If you could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're locally here. When you speak about our neighbors, we're part of what do you call it? The religious engagement. I don't know why that crazy stuff slipped your mind.
Interfaith.
Interfaith. Yes, but some people have interfaith, and there's a difference. Interreligious. This pandemic has thrown me off. Yeah, interreligious, interfaith, SWIFT, which is something that's has just opened up a door of amazing community. We've done book sharing where we read books selected by members from our congregation, and then we read books from a Jewish congregation, and then books from a Christian congregation. And we have, I believe the meetings are monthly. And before the pandemic, we met regular. My wife, she was always the one that went there to represent the Mosque Cares, along with Sister Aisha, Elamine, and Imam Nafis. I believe sometimes he will go. But we would have these interreligious gatherings where we would feed the public and make food. We would invite volunteers on and try to see how many meals. I don't have the numbers, the figures in front of me, but we fed many people, along with Amir Hassan, is his name? Amir Zamir, and the Hunger Van. And when Zamir stepped on the scene, now see, a lot of people don't realize this. We're small ministry, but we're pretty tech savvy. So people, we were going to rent hotel, like, oh, you all are that large group. Like, we ain't that large, but we kind of internet, we like this brother, he following. Now, don't forget, we paid that road, brother. We paid that road. Big things, but I see y'all really shooting higher than we ever imagined we could go, because you already there, you did it. Like I said, you all are what I consider the healthy nervous system that our community needs right now more than anything. So, man, it's nuts. See, I lost my time thinking about my brother and how he done shot. He just took the ball and ran, man. So, alhamdulillah. Yeah, what was I at? I always lose my the Hunger Van. Yeah, Zamir, the Hunger Van. And now you watch TV, everybody's trying to feed the poor. There's a campaign right now, I heard on WNPR, to try to end poverty. But it started with small groups of people, and you believe it or not, wasn't nobody talking like this until I heard the brother that used to own the Saeed restaurant. He may have passed. Saeed Sr., where his son, Saeed Jr., and along with his sister, I can't think of her name right offhand. She had a bus that she converted into a food, like a grocery store. And Saeed, and see, we die hard. Muslim, now I heard of the movie Die Hard, but Muslims from the Nation of Islam, from the leadership of Imam W. Muhammad, like you mentioned Dr. Lynn earlier, what happened when our school closed? She opened one in her garage. Come on now. And sister, when Salam restaurant closed, not the Salam restaurant, the Saeed's grocery store, his daughter got a bus. And now you see, this is the thing. It doesn't matter who gets the credit. If Allah inspires you to do good, you give that good back to the world, and the world would be better off for it, and you'll get your reward. It's already with Allah. Your reward is already reported. So that's the way we see that, is that you never give up. You never give up. Yeah. So the first Sunday, yeah, Saeed's restaurant. What was that? Where was that? Yeah, the initiative. So the first Sunday, I think we stopped at that. That's the last question. The first Sunday is really all about our sharing. We got Swift, and now this is something I'm really proud of. See, y'all put me on the spot because you can't walk around with an inflated head, trying to get in car doors and walking in buildings and all that. So I kind of dismiss a lot of that stuff. My father is responsible for that. And I mentioned my father's name when we had the iftar, I think it was in 2010, at the White House with President Barack Obama, the acting president at the time. And I'm sitting at the dinner table and I mentioned my father's name. I said, but I can't do this without mentioning my father, and he's like, well, you have your own legacy and you have this and that. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's all good, but I'm not ambitious, I'm just looking like I'm doing what any good son would do, So, and the same thing happened with Religions for Peace USA, Bill Finley they meet at the, he's the, not USA, Religions for Peace. There's two organizations, but there's a shoot-off. Religion, it's a part of it, Religions for Peace USA. So my father served as an executive president there. And he also did travel to the United Nations and around the world. He went on their events with the G8 summit and all of that. Now I sat in his seat, but I wasn't up there. I didn't travel with Vinley. But I was blessed to attend many, many major world programs, and I met people. I went on a retreat in the Catskill Mountains where we stayed in one of those geothermal homes that's heated by the heat of the earth and everything. I ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner with Buddhists, Christian, different Christian denomination, Jewish, and we got to know each other. We really, really got to know each other, and that's one of my main highlights. And I did attend last year, past couple of years, with Brian Zackham. He was from Bay Yehuda, Washanam, and out here in the suburbs. When I met him, now he's in Minnesota. He's been in Minnesota for a while now, but he is our connection with the world. What is it? The Parliament of the World's, not the Parliament. The Parliament of the World's Religions. Now that was exciting. That was really, really exciting in Canada, where we met Native American tribes, all kind of religion. They even had a Wiccan religious group there. This is the Parliament of the World's Religion. So every religion you could imagine was there. But the beauty of it was the spirituality, that all the human soul truly is one. That no matter what prayers we attended, that you could feel the sincerity and you could feel the presence of God, the Lord and cherisher of the heavens and the earth. You could feel that God's mercy and blessing, and that was with those people that were there. And so, and I had conversations with people, and it opened my mind up. I was a kid that if I saw something strange or young, just like most kids in grammar school, I think about the stuff, everything made us laugh. And so I'm like, some of these religions, I owe them an apology. and that's how I felt. It was an opportunity for me to apologize for my youthful ignorance, because most of the religions that we see as different are way more alike and align with our religions than you would ever imagine. And these people are giants. They're giants walking the earth, and they're God's people, and that's the way I see it. And I feel blessed that, and they called me something. I had to look, I lost my witness. I pulled up my phone. If I didn't have my phone, I had to look in the dictionary. They called me trustee emeritus. I'm probably mispronouncing it. So emeritus.
I was gonna say emeritus. You got it, Mr. President.
I'm gonna wait till ain't nobody looking. I was like, oh, thank you. do this mean I get in free? Nah, but it's just amazing. Imam Muhammad made a lot of friends. He made a lot of friends, and people sincerely loved him. And that's what they expressed to me most. Not that they respected the seat I was in, or not that my father was this great leader, or not that he was their friend. they expressed to me their genuine loss of a friend. Yeah. And that's what I got from everywhere. And I get it all the time, everywhere I go. That's another reason people, jealousy travels. A lot of people be like, why they smiling at this Negro? I don't even like him. They know my father. They loved him. And I look like him. I represent him. So they love us. And that's why as a people, if we come together and we support young brothers and sisters like yourself, we all gonna look good. And people wherever we go will all smile on us and be pleased and happy that they know us and feel comfort and safety when they know that we're present. And that's what being a family is really all about, Yeah, so I know I'm straight, so yeah. Am I still there? Oh, other groups. Even the ones in Saudi Arabia, we have an excellent relationship. I joined now see, this is why I don't like, y'all witnessed this. I almost forgot about probably the biggest interfaith thing that I've ever done in my life was we established with his father, may Allah be pleased with him, his deceased father, Brother Hafid, and we traveled on a regular basis for 11 years to have group meetings and council meetings to form this new organization called U.S. Council of Muslim Organizations, or in short, USCMO, which is an organization of major Muslim organizations that have multi-chapters all around the country. That was the qualification. So we are 11 founding fathers of this organization. I don't know if we use that language. We founding members. We're founding organizations. Yeah, see. So I got a lot going on. Y'all got to forgive me. So, but this organization has grown to do many, many great things. And I really feel proud that we stuck with it and that we, we're always there at the table whenever time to vote, and we continue to participate and we continue to vote on major decisions. And now we've grown to even include grassroots. We have many shura bodies from coast to coast that are part of this organization. And yeah, I'm really proud of that. And they also are guests at our annual event. So if you want to know more about them, you can Google them and Google us and look us up and see what's being done to serve our communities. Our hope is to serve like an intelligentsia, like that intelligentsia that Imam Muhammad mentioned, to look after the needs and to be the big brother with the strength and the power to make a difference and to provide help where help is needed. Inshallah.
Excellent, inshallah. What impacts does the mosque here tend to make in the Muslim community from the short term now and in the long term?
New Africa, baby. New Africa. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. New Africa. New Africa. That's what the nation was all about. New Africa. We did it in the 70s. Why can't we do it right now? We're new people. People love our food. People love our music. People love our spirituality. People love our intellect, our creativity. Why we can't showcase it? People love our business savvy, our ability to sell bean pies on any corner you drop them on. You could blindfold this brother, he could sell a bean pie. No problem. And it's gonna taste good. New Africa, New Africa. Come on, y'all. New Africa, what's up?
So with that said, right, we all want to see New Africa. And so from the mosque's perspective, what do you all need to realize that vision of New Africa?
We need it to be education. We see, if a person ain't never had something, then how can you convince them that this is something that they need? See, we knew we needed what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad offered because people still asking for it. Say, we miss seeing y'all on the corner. Y'all used to be so clean, so neat. The sisters felt safe. Like y'all wasn't afraid of nothing. Y'all didn't even back down from the police. I'm like, so we need y'all. Well, people don't know they need New Africa because, and for one, it's not all our fault. Because slavery played a major role in disconnecting us from a self-interest. because it took us out of the human family and made us something different. So when we came into the world as free people, we saw because we were put down lower than the low. I don't have to go through the whole story. So we saw all human beings as being our brothers and sisters. And God genetically, when he created the first black man, you know, probably the first albino was created. So a black man and a black woman can give birth to what looks like a white child. So black people don't discriminate. So when we were enslaved, it was easy for our mothers to give the same love to the Caucasian children as that she gave to her own children, you see? So what we as a people don't realize is that we have to take a step back. It's not that we're trying to take a step forward. We have to take a step back and see ourselves as important. And as, although we don't look black, white, red, brown, yellow, you know, we don't look like that. We are the world, but we still have contributions to give because we are new people that God put as a sign to the rest of the world that our identities are not the true identity. The true identity of a person is not his ethnic background, his religious background, it's his humanity. Is that we are the human family. And if you can look at this platform right here, we look like I got relatives, you can line them up. If I didn't tell you, I could tell you they from different parts of the world and you would have to take my word for it because they look just like those people. So, and that's in my immediate family. So we still need to perform as a family and to love as a family and to express as a family. There's certain things that I learned from my mother and father that the neighbors next door, they're not going to be able to share it with you. They got to call Muhammad. They got to say, hey, Muhammad, come over here, man, show us that thing you got, you know, or what's that taco you made yesterday or whatever, that burrito or whatever. We want to check that out. What you call that? You know, and so we need to express ourselves. And hey, I heard you. I hear your wife singing all the time. You know, what she do? What's that language she speak? You know, oh, that's the Quran. You know, we like to recite the Quran. You know, it's like singing, but it's more like prayer. You know, it's really literally prayer. They say, so your singing is your prayer. That's like the church. We sing and our singing is our prayer. You know. So it's all good, man. It's like New Africa. The potential is so high, you know. It's like we want people to come to be able to say, hey, how come there's no New Africa in my town? We want to see wherever there's African American people, there's a place where we can go and sit down in a restaurant, and that where our sisters can go in the grocery store and shop and know that ain't nobody gonna be bothering them, you know. And nowadays, our sisters got the wrong idea, a lot of them. I go to the grocery store and I'll be like, well, dang. You know, I used to tell my son to stay in the car. And now I got to I tell myself I'm sending my son in there. I don't, you know, I'm like, I'm trying to find some cheese or local bread. I'm like, I'm not trying to see no, yeah. I mean, it's bad. It's bad. But that's a shame that our sisters have to do that because now they're not competing with their nature to see what will win me a good man that can be a husband and a provider someday. But now they're competing with Hollywood. You can't compete with Hollywood. You can't compete with Hollywood. The brothers, same thing. You can't compete with Hollywood. He gonna have you look. That's why I told my son, he came in the house one day and I told him, I said, now I like your hairdo. It's nice. I like your hairstyle. You know, I did one of these notes. I was like, I'm sure it's luxurious, it's nice, it's all this and that and everything. I said, but son, beware that it could be a fad. I can't even say what I said to him. Well, I can hint at it. I can hint it. I said, you don't know what that style is going to be 10 years down the road. It might say you somebody that you might not want to be identified with right now. You know, that might not be your identity. So you got to be careful. You have to be proud of who you are. You don't let your environment dictate to you who you are. You dictate to your environment who you are, and that maybe they might want to try what you're offering. They might want to try your culture. Because I remember as a child, we were trendsetters. We made the culture. Remember, everybody was wearing baggy pants. Remember TLC with the farmer suits and all? That was Imam Muhammad. They wore head rags. Imam Muhammad was a welder. It was easy for him to put a head rag on. That's what he did to keep the iron rust out of his hair, you know? So when he had Craig do it, Craig did it. Next thing you know, you seeing all these brothers, they ain't in bow ties no more. They in farmer suits. There's a new mind. There's a new mind in the African-American community that we not acting the role of businessmen. We are businessmen. We're getting food from our farms, and we're taking those foods and we're selling them in our communities and bringing healthy food that's much needed in our community. So trendsetters, man, trendsetters. And we have to be brave enough, and our young people have to be brave enough, no matter what the climate in our communities has brought us. You know, I said this a long time ago. I said we have to be careful. When right after 9/11, I told the Muslims, I said we have to be careful and we have to protect our good names, because the public and society can turn your good name into a curse word. You'll hear your name and feel pride and feel joy and peace. Somebody else will hear your name, or you hear it coming from them, and you know that it's something that's not respected, you know. And I think I was speaking to an organ. I was speaking truth. I was speaking truth, and God blessed me to have a close relationship and friendship with people from the Jewish faith. I said, I don't know no Jews. And nobody has ever approached me. Now, I'm sure I knew Jews, but nobody's ever approached me and said, I'm a Jew. You know, hey, here I am, you know. So, but I knew that if I put that out there, I said, so I don't care what people say. I don't have any bad or negative opinion. I know that people of the book, that's Allah said, they believers like I am. So they're my brothers and sisters as far as I'm concerned. So God blessed me to do interfaith and to form some pretty personal relationships. So I travel with people of the Jewish faith. So now I can say I know Jews and I know they're people just like us. And there's no reason why they should carry those stigmas. So I'm real careful about prejudice and becoming prejudiced for any reason, you know.
Yes.
You know, but Hollywood. We got to be careful and not let Hollywood become our reality, because it's just entertainment. It's theater, it's good theater, and it's entertainment. And so we have to provide communities that look after the young people, like New Africa, like a community with campuses. We had a campus. And if you look at immigrant Muslims, when they come in our community, first thing they do, you think they just build a masjid, they want to go there and pray. No. Prophet Muhammad was a universal prophet. He didn't just want to pray. He wanted to live the full life that God instructed him to live as a human being. So you'll find they buying up all of the businesses in their community. They buying up all of the land in their community, and they putting housing near the community. They put a school near the campus. So they had a camp. Same thing we had in most of our communities, but people won't let you know that. Under the Elijah Muhammad, Imam Muhammad inherited debt. Imam Muhammad got a lot of those places out of debt and got those deeds in the hands and got ownership. I remember in the community, the neighborhood that I lived in, my barber was here earlier. He was telling me how, so-and-so, he used to live across the street from so-and-so. How 40 houses in the community that I lived in, these are middle class houses. These are duplexes, you know, these are nice little houses. That 40 of them was people that worked at the masjid on Stony Island when Imam Muhammad inherited, and most people did not have the deeds to their houses. They weren't paying them. I'm like, you got a free house and you're not paying. The houses were free, but they weren't paying their taxes, so they owed money. So it broke my heart to hear that people were losing houses, losing things. And same thing with the masjids. Imam Muhammad, he wasn't just a traveling imam. He was traveling to save those communities that he saw people that were close to his father, close to his family, live to old age and achieve great things that we could only imagine and dream, die and pass away. So their life is in those properties. So Imam Muhammad, he was traveling, he was saving them. Because Imam Muhammad, more so than the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I believe, I truly believe this, and I believe they look at the records, they'll say it more so than Malcolm X. Imam Muhammad drew crowds. Imam Muhammad drew crowds. It wasn't until he stopped that fourth Sunday hookup. He used to have 4,000 people there in the early 80s at the fourth Sunday hookup. But he stopped translating, which your daddy loved, my friend, my brother. He loved those fourth Sunday hookups in that era that we went through in the early 70s, where Imam Muhammad was really translating, giving religious science. You know, he was translating the Bible. That's what he was really doing. He was giving insights on the Bible, which I haven't seen a person that could match his insight on the Bible even today. So that's why his tapes are still very, very valuable. And we have tons and tons of them that we try to get from magnetic tape. And that's the other thing I do. I'm self-fed. So my bread and butter was WD, and still is WDM Publications, the intellectual property of Imam W. Muhammad. And so a lot of his intellectual property is on these magnetic tapes. And you can't even get one of those recorders that's made for that under $1,000, and many of them $4 or $5,000. You know, you can't really, that's like technology that's going away. And so, but we still have to get those archives. Ultimately, what WDM Publications, I know you didn't ask me about the publication, but this is in a nutshell. What we
have to do a part two. We have to do a part two.
What we hope to do is, have you ever seen a book die because of a new trend of technology? We want everything Imam did in book form, and that's what we've been working on. And you know, and I this is what I like to brag about, because it's mostly because of the hands of my wife and her ability to type and dictate. Her only auntie was a stenographer, whatever, a court reporter. I don't know, court reporter. So typing is just in her blood. 13 books, 12 books, because we did number 13, right? It's after she passed. Yeah, 12 books, which is more than his 33 years and his paid staff over those 33 years produced. I mean, we have probably produced maybe double or triple amount of all. Well, if you look back, you know, there's somebody right now trying to see how many books was produced, but I don't think you can find 13. I don't think you can. Yeah. So that was our aim, and we're pleased, thankful to Allah. Without Allah's help, we wouldn't have been able to do it. That is our aim, and that is our intention to the future, so long as I have breath in my body. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Alhamdulillah. What a journey.
This is my day job, brother. This is my day job. This ain't no hobby. This ain't no side job. I'll fight you over this.
Yes, sir. You know.
Don't believe me? Bring the glove. Bring the glove.
You know, we in it to win it, as we say. We definitely.
I know it. You my man. You my man. I got you. I got you. I got you. You my man. This brother used to hustle harder than any other old head, and it was handed to them. It was, Imam said that if y'all want anything, just ask my son. That he'll make you copies free of charge, whatever you need, you know. And but I told him the money is even better. Okay, people give you stuff free. My mother termed this when I was real young. I wish she hadn't said it to me, because it kind of corrupted me. I mean, I'm not corrupt, but in a sense, she told me, she was like, your dad, people give you money for nothing. Why don't you sell the tapes? They said, money for nothing, sell the tape. And it's not for nothing. They give you money, they donate to your ministry to hear you teach. But I forgot how my mother said it. She said it something. It was almost that bad. And so I was like, yeah, let's sell the tapes. And you know, and the rest is history. Yeah. And so I fed my family. I bought the first home we lived in, sold it, and bought another house and everything else, every car I've ever driven, and you know, paid debts, every credit card and debt, and you know, and so I shared it. I gave 30% of my profit with whomever wanted to join, and a lot of people made money. You made a little bit, you made a little change, and you was on the good end. I should have came down there and helped you. When you hollered, I should have listened. I apologize. I should have, because the money the money is down. I know what you know where the money is.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, he know. We're gonna get it back, right? We're gonna get back on track.
That's what we on New Freedom Prosperity. Prosperity is the destination.
Yeah.
And
He
New Africa.
know where the money is.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. I apologize. I'm having fun.
No,
it's good to see my relief coming in. You ever see
Yes.
the athlete that play real hard? You know, Michael Jordan slammed it. Then he know the game is this the last quarter and the last. But you know,
Oh, you're trying to pull us off the bench.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to sit down.
You're trying to get on the bench and pull us off.
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to leave the stadium. Talking about bench. I need a nap. Yeah, all right. Y'all doing excellent work. I appreciate y'all. Alhamdulillah. That's from the bottom of my heart. That's real. And it's still beating. It's real.
That's right.
It's still here. Alhamdulillah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you just witnessed is beyond words could put in a sentence, but we were thankful to have our dear Imam Deen Mohammed II, president of the Mosque here, Imam W. Muhammad, speaking more than just the past generation, as he mentioned, his father and grandfather, but those who came even before them. Our community, as we know, comes up from slavery and it is beyond that, right? And so as we're here in this new time, this new day, Allah has given us another opportunity to move forward together. And we're just happy to be a part of this next stage of our development. We'll do a quick round of closing remarks as we bring us to a yield. I don't know if everyone heard that video. That was the tribute video to the Muslim Journal, 60 Years of Independent Islamic Media. So maybe we can play that again at the end if it didn't came in clear on the first time, inshallah. We'll start off with Imam Bilal.
Alhamdulillah, I mean, very grateful to Allah to have this program here with the Mosqueers and to be able to interview the president of the Mosqueers, Imam Muhammad II. I mean, I think today just was a crucial information that was shared to the believers here and to those who are watching online and those who will watch the replay later on, that you know, we're standing on the works of those who came before us. Here we have a son of our leader who's continuing the legacy of his father, and you know, this is part of the tradition of the Prophet of Al-Islam, is that when a believer servant dies, returns back to Allah, that you know, one couple things that's left. You know, one is the continuous charity or the sadaqah that continues to evolve, continues to benefit the community, but also the children who continue to work and pray for their parents, you know, after they have gone from the physical earth. So this is the prime example of that what we witnessed today and what we continue to witness. And we hope and pray for the success of the Mosqueers, but we also heard that we have to come off the bench and start to play in the game, in a sense, which we have been. But you know, obviously the torch is being passed to us as young adults, and we are in position here at New Freedom Exchange and New Freedom Network to, inshallah, New Freedom Works. All that we're doing is to get the young people more involved, the young adults more involved, and tap in to some of these opportunities to get involved.
Absolutely. And so I piggyback those sentiments that we are grateful for the interview today, for the opportunity to learn about the Mosqueers and what you all do. But also to give a call to action. Anyone who watches our show knows that I always come at the end with sort of like I challenge you to do this. And so in true Sister Marsha form, I challenge our community to get involved, especially our young adults. You've heard today here all the initiatives that the Mosqueers has. You've heard what the Mosqueers sees for the future, and it hasn't changed, and it's always been New Africa, baby, as the Imam stated earlier. And so we have some work to do, and it's enough work for everyone to get involved, to give creative ideas and creative solutions. I say all the time that we do this type of work for our employer every single day. And those skills that we learn and those skills that we put into practice on our jobs could absolutely benefit our community to push us and catapult us forward. And so I charge you to think about where your skill set lies, where your experience lies, and how you could take that to push your local community forward, push the national community forward, and be a benefit to the mosque heads, be a benefit to, you know, the school system, the Clan Muhammad school system, everything that we do. We have some work to do to get to New Africa. I would love to see it. And so let's go.
Until next time, this is New Freedom Exchange. Peace.
Alaikum salam.
Alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. So who's still here?
Assalamu alaikum, Imam Mujahideen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, did you end your
legacy, brothers and sisters, let's celebrate. Legacy, Muslim journal, 60 years today. Legacy, our history, our perspective, our way. Legacy, Islam is our path, success away. Legacy. Visit muslimjournal.net on legacy. Text sponsor the 999. Legacy 999. Legacy. Muslimjournal.net online. Legacy, brothers and sisters, let's celebrate. Legacy, Muslim journal, 60 years today. Legacy. Our history, our perspective, our way. Legacy. Islam is our path, success away. Legacy. Visit muslimjournal.net on legacy. Text sponsor the 999. Legacy 999. Legacy. Muslimjournal.net online.
Don't work against us becoming Muslims if that's our choice. America is land of the free and home of the brave. And damn it, I'm brave and I'm free. And you can't take it away from me. I'm going to have freedom of choice. I choose Islam, I choose Quran, I choose Muhammad, I choose this religion for myself, and as long as my children are under my supervision and not of age to make their own decision, I am choosing Islam for all of my children. As long as my wife will like me, will love me, and she doesn't have to love me, as long as she respects me. I choose Islam for my wife. And that's my responsibility. And I hope you all feel the same way. Thank God we are free at last. We are free at last. You're not free when you're just free from physical bondage. You're not free until your mind is free and your human spirit is free. Your human spirit will take you where God wants you to go. And if you got that human spirit that will follow what God wants, your mind will be blessed by God to know how to get your body there. To get your body there. We're tired of being spooks in America or anywhere else. We are no spooks. We have a human body like everybody else. Don't tell me to accept God, immigrant Muslim from Pakistan and from Egypt and other places. Don't come over here and give me a life of Muslim ritualism. I had enough ritualism. I feel the genes in of my foreparents. They are in me. And I have a distaste for too much ritualism. I want reality. I want reality, and I want a place in this world. I want to obey God, and I want to get my share of this material world. Don't give me a spirit and tell me I can't have a body. God didn't give me a spirit and tell me I can't have a body. God gave me a spirit, and he gave me a material body to house my spirit. Now give me a material environment to house my mind and my spirit that is African American. We want to see New Africa. We want to see New Africa Islamic theaters. We want to see skyscrapers go up and we build them. We want to see shipping lines and trucking lines and transportation lines all over in our neighborhood. We want to walk outside our house and we want to look at the products and the construction and the industry of our own people, Muslim African Americans in New Africa, on these shores, That's our rightful inheritance as the creation of God. God has created us for this. That's our natural inheritance. And we will accept nothing less. Nothing less. They have Spanish Town. They have Chinatown. Damn it, get ready for African American Town, Muslim New Africa. And I won't say it. I know you've been waiting for it. You've been waiting for me to say it. We cannot